there from Bug Eye Guys. Today I want to give you a tour of a really cool Survivor car. We were lucky to get this from the second owner, and the first owner had it up until around 2003, so more than 40 years of ownership. It shows about 16,000 miles on it. Now I don't put much weight in these odometers because they break often. And it could be 216,000 miles, or it could be 116,000. I really doubt it's 16,000. It'd be really hard to wear out a shift tower from your watch band or whatever, put all those scratches in place in just 16,000 miles. But we'll never know. I just think what's interesting about this car is that the guy who had it, he got it in Germany, and the selling dealer would have put this plaque on the back in Stuttgart. And that's kind of cool. That's been there for a long time. And then he traveled, I think he was in the service, and he traveled all around various destinations with this car. It traveled with him, as I've been told by the second owner who spoke to him. And we have his contact info. We'll try to reach him. But what you end up with is this kind of patinaed Survivor that is in perfectly nice shape for someone to use and enjoy. And if you want a really mint Bug Eye, this wouldn't be the one to choose because it's obviously a little bit weathered. But you have these unusual kind of period pieces. We cannot get a mirror like that anymore. Whether you like it or hate it, it's still a really cool artifact from, an earlier time. And it's just nice to see that. There's something very refreshing about this particular type of weathered Old English car, if you could find one. The paint is certainly not new. It may have been painted once. It's hard for me to tell. The paint is definitely a bit weathered, but it really looks fine, and or fine enough for this sort of patina vehicle. And I like it very much for that reason. And the body has a few little nicks and chips in it. There is one little crease right here, very small. I would live with all of that. I would live, the body is really pretty solid where they rust. I'll give you later in the video an underside tour. There's a tiny little blister there, and there is some wear to this A-pillar, which I'll show you also from underneath. But this is an overthrow of the door. What happens is these check straps, as you can see, this one is starting to tear again. The first check strap that was here was broken at some point, and that allowed the leading edge of the door to hit the A-pillar right there. That's what that crease is from. It's just a hyperextended door. So that's something that this car comes with. Anyway, it's a very, very cool weathered interior in my book. We can upgrade any of this. The carpet has a hole there on the driver's floor mat right about in the center of your screen. We do have new carpet we can replace this with. We also have rubberized kind of recreation floor matting, so we can make it look more like the original. Those would be the original red door liners. That's really cool to see. And these are the original seat covers. This is just from seeing so many of these. These would be the originals. And the original rear hard door mat with this punch through for the top bow. All these pieces are the originals. So it's just kind of nice to have that weathered assemblage. That's the original dashboard. A quick thing, we've talked about this before, but if you're unfamiliar, I'll review it again. This would be the original perforated radio blanking cutout. So the cars came through with a solid piece and these perforations. The perforations happen to be exactly where you have the brighter black spots. And interestingly enough, there's something about the way the light discolors the vinyl after 60 years. The perforation isn't supporting the vinyl the same as the rigid piece, so you get this discoloration. And in some ways, that's a badge of honor on these cars, so it's kind of cool. Perhaps you feel like it's hideous and you want it all recovered, and we can address it either way. When we do recover these, we'll fill these perforations so that this doesn't recur down the road. But it's totally up to the new owner to decide. This would be an original turn signal switch, so you end up with this kind of caramel color as the black color goes away. Again, probably because of UV light or maybe because of oils from your skin. These would also be the original knobs. So this is all really cool stuff. And for some of our customers, this kind of little bit of fading is just what they love. And if you're that kind of person, this could be the car for you. You can also see here the rivet for the door pocket and screw. That would be the correct and original door liner that came from the factory on this car. So we'll go underneath and take another look. Okay, let's go underneath on this cool Survivor bug eye. And starting back here, we have really nice rear fender bottoms. That's good to see. And then here in the rocker panels too, there is a little imperfection there, but this is a nice, I don't think this is gonna pose anyone any issues for many years to come. Good to see. There's some chafe here, but also in this area, we're not seeing the blisters that we often see. There are some on the other side, I'll show you. This is pretty common. You have a little bit of a water trap on the back of these, so it's pretty normal for us to see a little blister in this corner of the nose. But that again is not something that I'm gonna lose any sleep over. And here as well, this is in nice shape. Good shape here and along here. These are rust areas that you don't have to worry about on this car. And this is just some surface rust. Again, there's a little fin on the back that can trap moisture and debris. If you're watching this and you have a Sprite, you wanna make sure you clean these out. This one's pretty clean, but water gets in there. After it rains, we recommend people put the noses up on their cars so that this stuff can drain. But when you don't do that, which most people don't do, you do get a little bit of surface rust at times, so that's something to watch for. And this is in nice shape as well. The rocker on this car is really quite good. This is a chafe again, and not anything I'm too worried about. There is a drain hole here that's supposed to be here. Here's where we have, maybe this is the worst part of the body, and it's not really anything I'd be too concerned about. We patch these routinely. It's not a difficult thing to patch. This is from moisture getting in from the two screws at the windshield stanchion. It runs down in here and gets trapped, so it's pretty common to see some blistering there. And then this is another thing we've seen in many occasions, and it's an unfortunate overthrow of the door. So the door goes out too far, it hits here, levers against this pillar and can crease this. So this overthrow is in this area here is an interesting opportunity, because if you wanted to hypothetically repair this, if it was bothering you, you could cut it out higher. I'm just reaching because we're up on the lift, but you could cut the top of this and put in a new sheet metal piece and address all of that at once, and it really wouldn't be too difficult. All that said, I wouldn't do any of that. I think this car has just the perfect kind of assemblage of a patina. It's, you know, if you want a weathered original bug eye, if you like that sort of thing, this car is in really nice shape. Here's another little opportunity. The moisture gets in here. There's a liner on the back, so it's like a V coming down, and that moisture can give you some of this. So you would have to cut this out, but I would leave that too. I'm not worried about that. It's sort of in character for this particular car. The trunk floor is really good. This is an original gas tank. Let's look underneath and some of the more common things that we see. These are original floor pans, which is really cool. Here's the original vent or drain. And these are the original mounts for the gas pedal if it were a right-hand drive car, and the sling plugs are here. The replacement floor pans don't have that. So here's those same features, and these are the mounts for the accelerator pedal on a left-hand drive setup. We do see here another chronic challenge. You have a spot here, which means these front wheel cylinders are leaking. We knew that we need to go in and do some refreshing of the hydraulics, which is common. I think these might be okay. And then back here, we have a little bit of rust on the outboard end of the spring box. So you have a little perforation here. Pretty common to see that. These are new leaf springs, so somebody has had these out. They're not the original springs, and that's fine. The leaf springs fail. And this is the floor pan. It actually laps under this mount, We see this on so many cars where this outer section starts to rust. I'm not worried about that. Again, you know, the car's in the right place. If you want this stuff addressed, we can fix all of this. But I do think what's special about this car is that you could just have it as is. If you're not driving it in the rain and you're taking good care of it, this is not really something I'm worried about. And I'm speaking just from the voice of experience, having seen hundreds of these Sprites. You just can't fix all of them in this area. As long as all these other things are so nice and solid, I'm not terribly concerned. Here's another example of that. There are a few little pinholes in this floor pan. This would be the driver's footwell. If you're unfamiliar, there's a crossbar, a cross member that runs at these spot welds, and your feet are sitting from here forward. This is where the pedals are, as I showed you from the accelerator pedal mount. So this little well that's meant for drainage does occasionally pinhole, as what you see here. And it's strong. It's not all lacy and about to fall out. It would normally flex just a little bit like that. So I'm not concerned about that, but I just want to make sure whoever ends up with this car knows that that's what we've got. This is just scale. These are not pinholes. And if somebody wanted to just basically wire brush this a little and coat it, that is an option. But this is the original, like rust brown, almost looks like Rust-Oleum primer. That's the factory color that would have come on the underside of a Bug-Eye. You can see it here. It's sort of an overspray mist of brown. And that's just another nice original feature on this special Bug-Eye that we have here at Bug-Eye Guys.